So this is the second time they're playing the Patriots this season. First game, 24-17, a game that came down to the wire. Very close game that, it came down to that call. Was it a first down? Was it not a first down? I think it was pretty clearly not a first down, but some people would argue. I think the good argument for that was call on the field maybe should have stood, but I digress. We won the game. Since then, they've lost. They lost not every game. They got that one win against the Jets, and then they won last week, of course, against the Bills. They're coming off their best game of the season. They're a lot healthier than we are. They've seemed to somewhat get their act together, but I still don't have a lot of confidence in this Patriots team. We've talked a lot throughout the stream about their team, about the situation with our team. What is the number one thing about this Patriots team that concerns you in any way?
It would really just it. It's hard to say. I would probably have to say Kendrick Bourne just being over the middle in our zone defense. I mean, we know that against man coverage, Mac Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, but against or zone coverage, he's actually one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And if we run a lot of zone against this offense, that could be something that Kendrick Bourne can just sit in the middle of the zone and eat up yards, extend drives.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're not going to be having to play Matt Judon. We read out the injury report previously, and he is not on it because he's likelihood is going to be out for the season with his torn biceps. He had the surgery on that. So the rush on Tua is definitely going to be a little easier than it may be, as well as Devon Godshaw and Christian Barmore on the injury report. Both their interior offensive linemen, and the interior is where we had our struggles on Sunday with probably the best defensive tackle pairing in all of football. So you go from one of the best teams in the league and a team that is at a really high right now. I just don't believe in them still. I still think they can very much finish with a top 5 pick, which is where I predicted them to finish in the beginning of the season. Playing against the Bills, beating the Bills, definitely is an eye catcher. But when you kind of break it down, again, they had the perfect game outside of the Kendrick Bourne fumble. You're playing a divisional opponent, somebody who you're very familiar with, at home. It was a perfect storm that the Bills started off their first drive with an interception from Josh Allen. It was the perfect storm for the Patriots to win, and they just narrowly escaped, ironically enough, with a Mac Jones touchdown to Mike Gesicki. I mean, it doesn't get much more storybook than that, at least from a Dolphins perspective, watching that game. Do you really take them that seriously, even still?
Take them more seriously than I did before. I still think that we're gonna win. I don't think it's gonna be as close as the first game, but I still you gotta respect some things about them. Although J.C. Jackson against Tyreek Hill, if Tyreek plays, kind of juicy for the second time this season.
Yes.
We'll probably have Jonathan Jones on them, but then we just have J.C. Jackson on Jalen Waddle, which is still
Take your pick.
yeah. I just J.C. Jackson, period.
He's already got burnt once.
Good. Remember when he was good?
Yeah, and they got paid a boatload of money. Him, Deshaun Watson. Maybe they should go on vacation together. Oh wait, don't do that. Don't do that. But you might end up in some legal issues. The Patriots, they don't have any teeth really. You look at the rushing attack, it's bad. Last week, 96 total yards on the ground. Demario Douglas had one long rush, which yes, it still counts. I understand, but a wide receiver rushing attempt, I don't remember what it was, but that's kind of fluky. You look at their stats on the season, and it very much backs that. Fantasy owners, if you own Ramondre Stevenson, you've been pounding your head against the wall wondering when is he finally going to come around, and I don't know if he is. 268 yards on the season, 3.1 per carry, 2 touchdowns. And now Zeke, I think, has back-to-back games with touchdowns, so he's starting to take away some of the goal line game, but he's not good either. He's actually been a better runner, 224 yards, 3.7 per carry, but Ramondre is always going to get involved in the receiving game. Kendrick Bourne is their leading receiver, 34 catches, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. We talked about him a little bit earlier, and I'd say you're more fond of him than I am. How good of a receiver do you truly think Kendrick Bourne is?
In the NFL itself, the landscape, I would put him as a low to mid wide receiver 2, so probably somewhere in the range of 40s to 50s. I think he's better than Gabe Davis. Not sure if that really means much, but yeah,
That's iffy. That's iffy.
I think he's in that range. I remember we went on the whole thing of we can name 50 better receivers than Gabe Davis.
Was it Gabe Davis that we did that for?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We went on a long we went on a long rant, and I pretty much what I think he is right now. I think he's a low to mid end wide receiver too, but he's their best receiver. Besides Demario Douglas, who's a rookie, he's up and coming. He looks decent, but once again, when your receiving options are, and no offense, I love you, Devontae Parker, but you are ass.
He is, which I've been trying to smack that into your head for the last couple. Well,
no,
it didn't take as much. It didn't take as much to convince you of that. But are you now convinced that Mike Gesicki is also in that category of just absolutely cheeks?
No,
dude, he sucks. He's
17
catches, 149 yards, and a singular touchdown. That touchdown being the game-winning touchdown last week. What is he? What is he good at besides jumping up and being taller than people? He's not good at catching the football because he doesn't get open. Him and Devontae Parker are two of the worst receivers in the NFL when it comes to separation. They got Tyquan Thornton, who's kind of a quick guy. He's missed a bunch of games this year, only played twice. He's only got 3 catches on the season. Demario Douglas is a nice weapon in theory, but he's yet to be utilized to what he could be, if he was on a better team. But he is the second leading wide receiver. Hunter Henry is the second leading receiver on the team in general with 210 yards. Mario Douglas, 197. He's got, with a minimum of 10 catches, he's got the best yards per catch. But you're looking at 10.9, 10.5, 14.1, and then 7, 8.8, 10.3. Who else? Got 6.1, 4.5. Like, this is not a big play offense. They don't move the ball downfield well. They'll pick up a first down or two, but their drives generally stall really easily, and it's the literal opposite of what we see with the Miami Dolphins offense.
Yeah, where like if you stop the Dolphins on a couple of early downs, it's still like we talked about it like the last couple of years. We feel good about picking up a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 10. Whereas, like, before, we were like, okay, great, now we're going to punt, Even on, I think we converted at 3rd and 18 or whatever it was to Cedric Wilson against the Eagles. Like,
so I think I already know what your answer will be. This is a little away. This is kind of big picture rather than within the confines of the preview, but we're here. Do you think Belichick's going to pass Shula?
I don't think he's going to retire until he does.
So he is
he's a solid 40 or 50. No, not 40.
He's 36 behind. He's 36. Shula's got 347. Belichick's got 331. So he's actually 3rd. So next he has to pass Hallis. What's his first name?
George Hallis.
Is it George Hallis?
Is it George?
I mean,
sounds right.
NFL.
It does sound right, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. I think he already passed him though. I think Bill is the second most.
Bill Belichick holds the record. No. I'm pretty sure he's 3rd. Actually, we just kind of forget. No. Okay, yeah. Oh, so that list wasn't up. That list was actually as of 2020. He is 16 behind Don Shula.
He's only 16 behind Shula.
He's only 16 behind Don Shula. So that's obviously better than 30-something or whatever, as we said. 16? Yeah. That's like, if the over...
That's like a couple of years, three years for him.
347, 331. And how this Patriots team is playing, do you feel confident they're going to reach 8 wins this year and or next year?
How many wins do they have now? 3?
2.
They only have 2?
They only have 2. I'm going to take a look at their schedule and try and figure out on the spot how many games I think they could win. Because they are the worst team in the division, even though they've already beaten the Jets this year. They got to play us, which I think is going to be an L. Commanders, Commanders suck. Patriots might win that. Colts, I'm taking the Colts. Giants, 50-50.
They're going to win that.
Chargers, Steelers. Chiefs. Broncos, 50-50. Bills,
Patriots, yeah.
Jets, I'm taking the Jets. So what I say, 2 or 3 wins, so that puts them at 5. So if you put them at 5, that means they have to win 11 games next year for him to tie 12 games next year. He's 71 right now. That means he would have to play till he's 73, 74 years old, or coach rather, till he's 73 or 74 years old. It's possible.
He just signed a 3-year extension.
Is he really? I mean, I hope he plays it out. We found ourselves in such a weird position where I hope Bill Belichick continues to coach, because I think they're in a better, or they would be in a better position if they could go find somebody else than Bill Belichick.
So the problem isn't Bill Belichick the coach; it's Bill Belichick the GM.
It's everything. He is what he is.
Yeah, but it's even our lovely Patriots fan Jay, he says, like, look, Bill deserves this, time to, try and pass Don Shula's record. He earned it after winning 6 Super Bowls and however many winning seasons over the last 20-something years, But the problem still isn't Bill the coach, it's Bill the GM, and even Jay said that. So to have, Patriots fans be like, yeah, he's just not good at evaluating. I mean, he drafted Cole Strange, a possible 3rd-round pick, in the middle of the 1st round.
But you can't separate the two. That's where he is. He is the coach. He is the GM. And I don't believe, at this point in his career, what reason does he have to give up GM responsibility? He is in total control. So why would he give that up? I think it's a all or nothing type thing for him. I
never said he would give it up. I'm just saying that's the problem.
It's the problem, but I wouldn't say the coaching isn't the problem. I think it's at this point it's all one. I think he just views it just so symmetrical, and it is all together in one. Like, he coaches a certain way, which requires him to get players for a certain way, and like if he was just, I don't think he'd have all the success Mike McDaniel's having the Dolphins if he was just given this offense. I don't think he'd have just the same success. If he was given like the 49ers defense or the Jets defense, then I think he'd have success on that side of the ball. But I don't think you could just hand him the keys and say, have a lot of success. I think he would still try to do things his way, which are clearly not working. And they haven't worked a lot recently against the Dolphins. Tua is still undefeated. Our one recent loss against the Patriots, he did not play. Tua is still undefeated against Bill Belichick. Donovan, do you think that continues?
100%. Not even.
How does the game go on Sunday?
It's gonna go like this. The Patriots are gonna stall us on one of our first few drives. You're gonna go ahead, kick a field goal, maybe create an interception, turnover. But then the Dolphins just come right back, punch them in their own teeth, and just absolutely obliterate them 32-21.
I think it's gonna be a frustrating game. While we've beaten them every single time we've had Tua, last year when we played them down here in Miami, I believe it was like a 7 or 10 point game. It wasn't a blowout. Then the game that we played against them in New England, obviously we lost. And then the game we played against them in New England this year, Sunday Night Football, a lot of stake. The first primetime game of the season, it was just 7 points rather. We're so beat up. Like, even the guys that we think / hope are playing, like, playing at 50% is still not great. Even if those guys do play. If they miss, obviously, if Ramsey isn't able to come back, if Xavier Howard misses another game, if Connor Williams misses another game, if Waddle, Tyreek Hill, the list goes on of guys that potentially miss this game. Eventually, like, when we saw against the Eagles, it really affects you having some really good players miss the game. I still think we're going to win. So, if you thought I was going that direction, you're a fool. But what's the over under on the game? What's the betting odds over under? I'd say it's probably like 46 and a half. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on 46 and a half.
46 and a half.
46.
Just to let you know that the Dolphins are, I think, 11-point favorites right now.
9-point favorites.
Went down. Okay.
I'm probably taking the under, and I'm probably taking Patriots plus 9. I'm going to go with 21-17. 21-17. Not a sexy answer, not fun.
All
A
right.
win's a win, but I just don't have a lot of confidence. Let me finish talking. I don't have a lot of confidence in this team, the way it's currently dealing with injuries, and Patriots do seem to play decent against us, but not win. I don't have a lot of confidence for this to be a massive blowout or anything like that.